Taylor Swift's lawyers have now entered the chat, and it's all because of this statement. Blake Lively's team reacts after Taylor Swift agrees to Justin Baldoni's deposition. Well, it turns out she didn't agree to anything. You'll probably remember that back in May, Justin Baldoni's team sent a subpoena to Taylor Swift, and it was all over the news. Taylor Swift issued a statement saying that she had no connection to Justin Baldoni with It Ends With Us's filming, and that she wasn't even on the set. They soon removed the subpoena, but they claimed at that time that they'd gotten everything they needed from Taylor Swift. Soon after that, we saw in a filing from the judge himself that that was not the case and that Justin Baldoni's team, in fact, didn't get anything from Taylor Swift's team. Well, now we've got Taylor's name in the docket again. So in a filing from Justin Baldoni's team, they wanted to extend their deposition timeframe by 30 days. They wanted an extra month to sit down and do depositions for one reason and one reason only. This is what they wrote in their letter asking the judge for a 30-day extension. They said the Wayfarer parties requested an agreement solely to take the deposition of Taylor Swift during the week of October 20th to 25th due to Ms. Swift's pre-existing professional obligations. They said it was for the sole purpose of accommodating third-party witness Taylor Swift, who has agreed to appear for deposition but is unable to do so before October 20th, 2025. Blake's team, of course, responded to that, saying that they don't agree, and they provided evidence. So they wrote saying, Wayfarer defendants assert, though notably without evidence, that Ms. Swift has supposedly agreed to sit for a deposition sometime between October 20th and 25th, some 3 weeks after the close of fact discovery in this matter. So it's already too late for this. So they were trying to get an extension to sit down with her, but nobody knew about this until the last, 10 days ago? Anyway, continuing on. The Wayfarer defendants do not appear to have contacted Ms. Swift's counsel regarding a date or location about the deposition until earlier this week. The Wayfarer defendants' lack of diligence and disrespect for Ms. Swift's privacy and schedule is astounding. Discovery has been ongoing for more than 6 months. This is 3 weeks after the close of fact discovery and 10 days before the parties were supposed to exchange their expert reports. They also note, of course, that going after Taylor Swift again is basically what the Wayfarer defendants have consistently sought to use to generate a media spectacle in this matter. As for evidence, they provided an email that is written to Wayfarer's team from Blake's team, summing up a phone call they had, and it's extremely interesting to say the least. So this says that due to the Wayfarer party's recent production, so Wayfarer, as you guys know, did not give them all of their text messages, emails, etc. In fact, they gave them hardly anything. So Blake Lively had to file a motion to compel, and finally, it sounds like the Wayfarer teams have complied. But it looks like they basically gave a big FU to Blake Lively's team, and instead of just giving them what is relevant, they sent them 80,000 pages of documents. And as if that weren't bad enough, they still don't have all the documentation yet from Wayfarer. They didn't get the signal communications from certain parties yet. Even though Wayfarer asked for an extension from the judge the night before it was due and the judge said absolutely not, they still have not sent that over. So Blake's team has now asked for an extension to do depositions with Justin Baldoni and Steve Sarowitz because they want to have all of the 80,000 pages gone through, as well as have those signal communications. So because of this, Blake Lively's team is asking for a 10-day extension to do these depositions. They want to do it now between September 25th and October 10th to avoid disrupting any of the other schedules that are laid out. But they note that Wayfarer responded saying that it's unlikely these witnesses will be available during that time frame due to previous scheduling conflicts and Steve Sarowitz's upcoming international travel schedule. But Blake's team notes and says, "We find this difficult to believe given that your clients have been attending either virtually or in person nearly every deposition taken to date in this case. So these parties, the Wayfarer team has shown up for every deposition that has been done with everyone else, but claims they can't make their own." Her team goes on to say that they're in this position now because Wayfarer defendants have inexplicable delays and voluminous late productions. So getting 80,000 documents that apparently should have been sent long ago. They had this request in February, but yet didn't send anything until now. Now, as for the Taylor Swift part, so this section is what Blake's team wrote. They said that they didn't hear anything about this, and it was first raised for the first time yesterday when they got this. So it says September 22nd was also slated to be the day of Mr. Baldoni's deposition. So I guess on a calendar, they had September 22nd as a tentative date to do a deposition of Taylor Swift, even though they had not sent anything to her or her lawyers yet. It was just in this calendar, but they also booked Justin Baldoni's deposition for that day. Now, we don't know why they are trying to get Taylor Swift in for a deposition because it's redacted in this. So all we get from this is it says that when we asked what the relevance was to this witness, you responded saying that you simply stated blank. There are over 100 witnesses listed and again redacted, most of which are not being deposed in this case. So that alone cannot possibly be your justification for eviscerating the current case calendar. They end off this email by saying it is grossly irresponsible to delay scheduling the deposition of a witness of this kind until the last minute. And we do not expect the court will reward your lack of diligence by granting you an extension that would blow up the case calendar and trial dates. And they were right. But before we get to that ruling, this is where it gets good. We've got Taylor Swift's lawyers entering the court docket for the first time. Here is the letter that was sent in on behalf of Taylor Swift. It says that this is the party representing Taylor Swift, and since the inception of this matter, we have consistently maintained that my client has no material role in this action. Further, my client did not agree to a deposition. But if she is forced into a deposition, we advised, after first hearing about the deposition just 3 days ago, that her schedule would accommodate the time required during the week of October 20th if the parties were able to work out their disputes. We take no role in those disputes. So nope. What Justin Baldoni's team was saying was again misinformation. She did not agree to a deposition and in fact is again stating she's got nothing to do with this case and doesn't want to be anywhere near it. Now, because of these deadlines that are coming up, the judge was quick to rule on this. So he adds saying that he had requests for extensions from both Baldoni's team and Lively's team. He says Baldoni's team wants a motion for 10-day extension because she needs to do depositions of Steve Sarowitz, Jamie Heath, and Justin Baldoni. So they have not been deposed yet, but they are about to. He says that her extension is necessary because the Wayfarer parties have belatedly produced large numbers of documents and have failed to produce others. And additional time is needed both to review and receive these documents before completing the relevant depositions. She doesn't want to depose Justin, Jamie, and Steve without being able to read all these documents that she's now gotten. Then he goes on to the Wayfarer's extension. He says the Wayfarer parties have filed a response opposing Lively's request for the 10-day extension and seeking their own extension of the deposition deadline to the end of October for the purpose of scheduling Taylor Swift. The judge simply states that they have to show good cause for an extension to a scheduling order and that they have to show that due diligence was attempted in order to meet these deadlines. He says Lively has demonstrated good cause for her requested extension. The Wayfarer parties have only recently produced certain additional responsive documents, nearly 80,000 pages in total, and have failed to produce others entirely. So because of this, she has demonstrated due diligence and he has granted her extension. Because Lively has been generally diligent and her request has not resulted from carelessness, an attorney's otherwise busy schedule, or a change in litigation strategy, the request is granted. However, the Wayfarer parties are directed to make defendants Sarowitz, Heath, and Baldoni available for depositions within the extended window. So they were trying to say, no, they're not available at that time. The judge has now said, too bad, they're meeting and doing this at that time. Now, as for Justin Baldoni's extension, he says the Wayfarer parties have not demonstrated good cause for their requested extension. Discovery has been ongoing for approximately 6 months. And he adds saying they have previously already given Taylor Swift's subpoena in May of 2025 and then withdrew it. They have offered no evidence that they have even served a renewed subpoena to Taylor Swift, and so their request for extension has been denied. So no, Taylor Swift did not agree to be deposed by Justin Baldoni's team, and in fact wants nothing to do with this lawsuit or this situation at all.